All right, well, it's 5:06, so I think we will get started. Um, Good afternoon, and I apologize in advance. I'm having some technical difficulties with my camera, unfortunately. So I just wanted to welcome everybody that is here, and welcome to our first ever Hudson County How to Apply live webinar for schools and school districts application for our arts and education programming. My name is Gina Hewlings. Just want to introduce myself. I'm the director for the Hudson County Office of Cultural Heritage Affairs and Tourism Development. And essentially we started this program about 3 years ago and are so thrilled that it has been so successful, and we are working with so many wonderful organizations and school districts. And this year especially, there's been quite a few changes that we've made to our guidelines and the application, all I think beneficial to the schools and school districts for applying. So we're very excited to present that and go over everything here. And essentially, if you haven't applied to this grant prior to this year, essentially the goal here is to bridge the gap between our amazing nonprofit organizations and the schools and school districts in the county. We know that funding has been tremendously cut for a lot of the districts and schools. So we were just trying to kind of give access to all of the students in Hudson County for everything arts, everything that falls under that umbrella, well, whether it's music, theater, drawing, you name it, visual arts. There are so many opportunities here. So we thank you for taking the time to join us today and to learn more about this amazing programming that we are going to have. So really quick, I just wanted to do some brief introductions. I'm going to pass the mic over to Rosa Mundell in a moment, but she is our special program coordinator for the arts and education programming. Without Rosa, we would have no program. She is the one who reaches out to all of our schools and organizations, works with them day in and day out to make sure that this program is successful and meets the needs of all of our schools and school districts. Also like to introduce Valentina Vargas, who also assists Rosa and myself in, doing all of the back end paperwork, applications, the vouchers, the payments, the everything nobody wants to deal with, right? But we thank you so much, Valentina, for all of your hard work and getting this program as organized as possible. And last but not least, we've got Marissa Barron, who without which we would not have an application. So thank you so much, Marissa, for putting this application together on SurveyMonkey, which is the platform that we use. And in a few minutes, Rosa will walk you through the actual application on that platform so you can get an idea. But she has taken several hours and months to prepare this as seamless and as inviting as possible to not only schools and school districts, but all of our organizations as well. And that's it for me. Again, apologies for my video as it keeps turning off, but I will kick it over to Rosa now. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Gina. Thank you for that great introduction about the program and everybody else on the team. Thank you all for attending. I'm basically going to start with a slideshow that's going to just highlight the changes that we've had so far. And then I'm going to follow that up with a demonstration of actually filling out the application for you guys. And at any moment, we will stop for questions. So if you have a question, you may deliver that in the chat. Gina will be keeping an eye on that, and we will be answering your questions live as we go through the demonstration and the slides. Okay. Sorry, guys. Where? Sorry, technical difficulties.
I think you just had it, Rosa.
Oh, wait, did I? Okay.
Yeah.
That's weird. It's making me hit that. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. Anyway, so we're going to start with the guidelines, the program details, just for those who are joining us for the first time. the nonprofit art organizations apply first on the AiEP organization application. All of the programs that they apply for are then reviewed and transferred over to the AiEP school and school district application, which we are going over today. The organizations are awarded the funds to collaborate with your school or school district based on the prioritized needs of the school, these guidelines, and the amount of funding available. Sorry. Okay, so if you go to, I hope that you guys have your guidelines available. If not, you can get them on our website. We can put that in the chat for you, a link to that, to go page by page through. So I wanted to start with page 2, the program priorities and requirements, if there's any questions on that. Basically, the priorities for funding are listed there. The requirements are listed there. Eligibility is listed on page 3. And basically for schools, it's any school, public school, located in Hudson County. And that includes any charter schools as well. The organization eligibility is listed as well. They have to be based in Hudson County or the New York, New Jersey metropolitan area, serve the residents of Hudson County, and have been in existence for at least 1 full year as of January 2023. And they exist primarily as an arts organization who is a nonprofit. We also list some important application pointers. I'm not going to read them line for line, but they're in there. I'm actually going to be going through the application. So hopefully if you have any questions about that, you can let us know. And I apologize again for, okay, I think my mouse is working correctly now. If you have any questions now about any of that, you can please ask us, and we can pause for a moment.
I think we're good, Rosa. No questions in the chat.
Okay, great. And Marissa just dropped the guidelines link for those of you who need it. So next up, we're going to go over the required preliminary planning agreement. There have been some updates on that as of last year. I'm going to outline those here. And that is on pages 4 through 6. Just so everybody knows, we are going to be announcing the awards the first week in May. That is the week of May 6th, and that will be communicated via email from our grants at hcnj.us email. So look out for that. And on that award letter, you will have this preliminary planning. It's 3-pager with the award letter. So we ask that you please read it carefully before you have any meetings. And just a couple of changes is we want the school liaison who is applying or the person who they are applying for to reach out to and contact the organization as soon as possible and before, this is important, the start of the school year in September 2024. We know that you guys, a lot of school employees and staff are away for summer vacation. This is one of the reasons why we started this application process a month earlier this year to get the award letters out earlier in May, so that you have the information sooner and can kind of try and have your preliminary planning meetings, at least your introductory meetings, and have a date set for, your final planning meeting to finalize your schedules and any logistics. So that is important. And we also want to let you know that if you are unable to host a program that you were awarded, that you need to contact us as soon as possible. what we do is we will put you on a waiting list to see if another program may come up during the school year, and we'll contact you as soon as possible about that. Next, next up is after you meet with your organization and you plan the timeline and the logistics, that is when we want you to sign, fill out your attachment A, and I'll go over that next, and return it to us to confirm your details. So you are meeting with the organization before you sign and return this preliminary planning agreement. Examples of logistics and things that you'll be planning are things like scheduling of an auditorium or a black box theater for a final presentation or a professional performance. There may be some sometime or some an activity that may take place off school grounds, or there may be a trip request to a site that the organization runs, such as a museum or a gallery, something like that. That needs to be brought up early. It doesn't mean that you have to agree with that. The programs can take place fully at the school without any trips, but if there is the offer of that, that has to be determined right up front, and permission slips would be needed to go out to the students' parents, allowing them to participate in any kind of field trip. Also, some of the organizations may request that they come in to see what a theater may look like or what your auditorium may look like, to do a site visit. And we ask that if that needs to be done, we would like it to be done way ahead of time, because we need to know all the details no later than 30 days before the start of the program. So as soon as possible, they can get in there and determine that, the better. After you have confirmed your actual start and end dates and logistics, then you sign and return the document with the details requested. I know I'm repeating that again, but it's really, really important. So attachment A is page 6. It's basically a table that you would just fill in the details, which include the program name, the start and the end dates. And we say actual because a lot of times in the past, it was basically, you would meet and you would come up with an estimated date, and then I would be contacted later on with an actual date. Because we have grown so much, we're not able to do that anymore, and we really need to have the actual dates. We understand that with the schools, some of the schools did not have their schedules until September. So just let us know that, and that you're working on it, and that you have a meeting planned as soon as you have that schedule, and you will, send over the actual dates, the paperwork with the actual dates listed on that with your signed agreement. And then the organizations will also be receiving and returning a preliminary planning agreement for organizations with basically the same information. And what we do is we make sure that all of the details match. If they don't, you will hear from us. We just want to confirm that everybody's on the same page. Okay, attachment A, again, I actually said this already, must be returned with a signed agreement, actual start dates and details after you have conducted your preliminary planning meeting. And if you make any changes, it's okay that if you do turn it in with a date on it, and that date may change due to unforeseen circumstances or scheduling changes, we just ask that you email us and let us know as soon as possible, and no later than 30 days prior to the start date. This is really important because it just The organizations take a lot of time in planning for the programs and hiring appropriate teaching artists to come into the school and teach the children, and they make their schedules out. So they need to know that, when those teaching artists are to come in and schedule them, let them know that it's definite that they'll be starting and when they'll be possibly ending. So they need to know, we need to know that in advance. So we appreciate that. Um, and lastly on this, all required documentation materials necessary for the organization and its staff, including the teaching artists, to work with students in your school building. And we realize we're offering the programs to all schools in Hudson County, and districts, schools within the same district may have different requirements. So we ask that you just let the organizations know what the requirements, what documents are necessary for your school building, your district, ahead of time, so they're prepared. Make sure they have all that paperwork in within the time, and that they bring on teaching artists, that have the required, whether it be fingerprinting, background checks, liability insurance, vendor contracts. We just ask that you let them know during that preliminary planning meeting. Okay, so if you have any questions so far, you can ask them now. Next, I am going to go right into the application demonstration. I'm going to do basically the two types. So you can apply as an individual school, which would be you are applying for one school only, or as a school district, which you would be applying for either 2 up to 5 schools on one application. If you are applying, if you are the head of a school district and you like to apply, but you're only applying for one school in your district, you're going to use individual school, not the school district application. Any questions?
None in the chat, Rosa. We're good to go.
Okay, great. Thank you, Gina.
Sure.
Okay, so on the left-hand side, we have our guidelines, which I just went through. It's a preliminary planning agreement. Here's the attachment, and now we are at the application questions. So the first application, just so you know, prior to once you hit the apply button, you're going to be brought to SurveyMonkey, our Hudson County Cultural Affairs application platform, and you will be required to register if you haven't already registered your school on the SurveyMonkey platform. And it's going to ask for your organization name. That is going to be the name of your school if you're applying as an individual public school, or it is going to be the name of your school district if you are applying as a school district. The school district is going to, so I'm going to go through the individual public school application first. And I'm just going to reset this so I can show you what it looks like before any answers are put in. So this is what your screen is going to look like. These are your tasks first task is your school information and your profile questions. So here's where you check off if you're an individual school or a public school district. So individual, remember, one school, public school district, 2 to 5 schools or more than one school. So you're going to answer a few standard questions one time. It's going to be what type of arts education programs do you currently offer? I am just going to put an X in there so that it knows I entered an answer. These are just some basic questions. Has your school ever, the types of arts and education programs you would like to offer more of it to your students? Has your school or school district ever applied in the past or is currently receiving any arts and education funds from any entity other than Hudson County? If you type yes, we will ask about those programs. If you type no, you will go right to the next question. You may put down a total amount of financial resources that your school may contribute. It's not necessary. And if you don't have any, you may place in a 0. So now if you are not sure, I just want to show you. Oh yeah, I forgot to click one of these. So on the individual public school charter, I press 1. You are going to have to put in your school name, your phone number, your title, your address, your website, the principal of your school or the lead of your school. And here are the questions we were talking about earlier. Please tell us about your public school or charter school. Those are the questions I answered already. At any point, this is a full task that you just completed. You can save and continue. And you may go back and edit those answers at any time. You will not be able to mark as complete if a question is not answered. Example. So you'll just go in there, mark it, and then you can mark it as complete. It'll say check your answers. If you miss something, it should come up in red. And then you'll be able to mark it as complete. Okay, so once you have done that as an individual school, you will be giving program questions. And here's a huge change from last year's application. We wanted to try to make the programs come up for the schools to be able to choose them. So you have the information in front of you. We haven't done that entirely in the past, but this application will give you that option. In order to do that, just so you know, it will have everything up to the grade levels. It's not going to give you the proposed number of sessions. We tried to add that in, but we were unable to. And if you need that information, you can always give us a call or speak with the organization once you're matched. So in order to get the list, you have to first select your municipality. Let's say it's Hoboken. You may select all grades, or if you are just want to provide, let's say kindergarten through 2nd grade. And then you may choose one or more of these. The more you choose the arts categories, the more programs will show up. So now it's going to say the following programs listed, and anything with a highlight in yellow is the program name and then all the information underneath it. So this is another program. This is another program. Oh, actually, we do have proposed in-class sessions. So don't mind what I said before. Okay, and then you'll scroll down. You can read through them, or I will show you an option of how to print them out. And I'm just going to get rid of these so I can show you how we cut and pasted them. Okay, so before you can choose them, you need to, it's going to ask you how many programs are you choosing. You can choose only one, but it would be in your best interest to choose two or three, only because not all the programs that you choose are guaranteed. And we kind of developed and changed the application in this manner to kind of help us out as well with the matching process. So if you have two or more programs and you list them in your priority, your first choice, second choice, third choice, or priority one, priority two, priority three, we know that, if you're unable to be matched with the first program, then you're willing to accept the second program or your third choice. Otherwise, sometimes we have to kind of randomly place programs based on the arts category, but this makes it a lot easier for us to match the programs. So you're going to come into here, into the priority program name, and you are going to scroll back up. And let's say, since I put K first and second, I noticed this is pre-K, kindergarten, and first grade, but I really love this program. So I am going to highlight it, copy, and then paste it right in there. So now you can go down to here, priority one program, musical instrument discoveries pops up. And it says from the program description above, please state which grade you are requesting for this particular program. So I had filled that in earlier, so don't pay attention to that. So you requested K first and second. So if you go back up here and you see, oh, well, this is for pre-K, K, and first, you may put in here, well, I only want this program for kindergarten or kindergarten and first grade. And then we ask for that program, the first one, how many classes are in each grade level you requested? So how many classes do you want to target? So let's say your school has 3 kindergarten classes and 4 first grade classes. Then here we'd like you to put kindergarten, 3, first grade, 4. Here we ask that you give us your ideal timeline. This is also not a guarantee, but we'd like to have an idea of when, the best time would be for your school to schedule the programming. This gives us, an idea, working with the organizations and their programming when they're available to provide the programmings, and it's also another way to help match the programs with the school. So we'd like you to just put in here, the months that are best. So here I just put, for example, between October and December, and you can say 1 time per week, 2 times per week, 3 sessions, on the same day, once a week, things like that. And then for the learning standards, you may also cut and paste. We have a link to the New Jersey Standards for Visual and Performing Arts right here. If you click on it, you can go down to the standard. VPA, choose, this one was, I think it was music. Say music, it'll bring up the standard. You can just go in here and then copy and paste it right into there. So those are all the questions for each program that you will be answering. And then for the second, okay, so this was filled in before. I have to go take that out. So now you can go out, you can choose all three of your priorities and then go through the questions, or you can do one at a time. It'll allow you to either way to go back and forth. So let's say the next program I would like to pick is this one. Again, copy. Paste. And a third. Copy. And that's a dance program. So if you wanted to choose different categories. So I'm pasting, and then once that's done, again, you will go down and answer the questions for each of the programming. Make sure you have an answer in all of the boxes. If you stop in between, you can't finish it, you can always save and continue. If you want, this is a way that I figured it out, that you can print a list as long as all of there's something in all of the answers. You are able to download at this point that section. It will give you a PDF and it will include the list. So here is your list of all your programming. So you may print that out and then go back. You can print it right here. And then when you go back into your application, you can have that next to you as you fill it out before you complete the task. And just so you know, you can change. I know I'm doing a lot of scrolling up and down. That's why I give you the option of printing if that's easier. But you can change any of these answers at any time. If you want a full list, you will choose all of the grades and all of the categories, and you will get a complete listing of all the programs and all the programming in just your municipality. And you may print that out, but remember to go back and change that so that you just get the ones that you want, and you are able to enter the three. You would have to scroll all the way down if you have a whole listing there. Then enter those three, all of your answers. I'm scrolling quickly, I know. I hope I'm not making you all dizzy. And then you would mark it as complete. Okay, so as long as you have these check marks, you can go on. The only other things you have to do is we ask that you attach your most recent school calendar. We understand that you may not have the calendar for next year out yet, so we would like you to attach the most recent. So that would be the calendar for this year. And then your school board of directors. Don't pay attention to this. We do not need a video, just attach a file. And then we appreciate any feedback regarding taking this, filling out this application or any of the guidelines. We appreciate it because what we do is we do read your feedback and we do update the application every year and try to make it easier, trying to improve on it, trying to improve on the program. So any information would be greatly appreciated. And then so if you don't answer questions or attach, you will not be able to mark all of your sections complete. But once you do, you will get the certification, and that is the last task. Once all of these are checked in green, you will be able to start this, and all you will have to do is read that and then sign. And then this button, submit, will turn green, and you will be able to submit your application. Just know, you may download your entire application at this time to make a copy for yourself. And we highly, highly recommend that you do that, although you will be able to go back on SurveyMonkey, I believe. Your application will be there. Any questions on the individual school application at this point?
Rose, I don't see any questions in the chat, so I think we're
Okay.
good.
Great, thank you.
Of course. And I just wanted to add too, while you're getting onto the school district portion of it, that Rosa mentioned any feedback is wonderful. We also do require surveys to be done at the end of each program. So the surveys are very critical in the sense that we are collecting all of demographic information, also information regarding the program. What can we do to adjust it to make it easier for you? What can we do to really just, we can always do better, right? So the goal is not to give you more work, it's to give you less work to provide this incredible programming through an organization. And that data and demographic information we collect, that goes to applications that we send out to the National Endowment for the Arts to get hopefully funded for this program. And just a quick little sidebar note that we are the only entity doing this type of programming on the East Coast. This is something that is very well received nationally, and the NEA, National Endowment for the Arts, and along with New Jersey State Council on the Arts, is very thrilled that we are able to move forward with this programming. So thank you to you and all of the educators who make it possible. So I just got a question from Michael. Hi, Michael, how are you? First year applicant, welcome. We're so happy to have you here. And he wants to just confirm when all the applications need to be fully completed by.
Great, thanks for the question, Michael. Yes, so the deadline for this application to be fully completed is Monday, April 22nd at 5 p.m. And without further ado, I am going to get right into the school district application. So it's basically exactly the same questions. The only difference with the school district is we ask that, here you are putting your district name, address, phone number, contact, superintendent, same your website. These questions are essentially the same as the individual. This is where it differs. So here you have the option of applying for more than one school. So if you only have one school that you want to apply for in your district, then please go back and choose individual school application, and you can just go right back up here and change that. But if you are a school district curriculum supervisor and you are in charge of your entire district and you would like to apply for up to 5 different schools, then we ask that you put that number of schools in here. And once you do that, I'm just going to do 3 to give you the idea. And I'm going to name them. So here you are going to have to put your school name in there, 3 different school names. And then once you do that, here's the same question about the total financial resources, and sure that's good. And then I'm going to mark it as complete. So now for your district, then you are going to, based on the number of schools you enter, you are going to have a task for each school. So, and which is going to be exactly the same, basically, as what we went through in the individual application. So you will put your school information. So PS1, what is the address of that specific school? PS1. Then you are going to be prompted for the same questions as we did earlier. So here I'm going to enter a different municipality. I'm going to enter high school level, and I am going to enter, let's say, English and visual arts. And so here, now these programs are now based on what I just entered for just that school. Scroll down. Again, you will choose the number of programs you're choosing for just this school. So basically, we didn't have this in the past where you were able to pick individual programs for each school, which means now you're able to have more of a variety and based on the needs of each school, kind of make it personal to each of those schools and what they need. So again, we all ask that you make a selection of either 2 or 3 because it will make it easier for us in the matching process, and it will give you a better chance of getting the program that you request. Copy. I'm going to go up, copy the program name, take a look at the grade levels. I chose in my application just 9, 10, 11, 12. So I'm just making sure they're all in there. And let me just make this 2 for now, so shorten the length. And so here, for instance, it's only 9, 10, 11, but I do like this program and I want to focus on a particular grade that I'm thinking of. So I'll bring that down, copy that in there. And then I will answer these. So here, I might want to say, oh, I love this program, but even though I chose 9 through 12, I think I just want to focus on my seniors. And I have just one group of seniors that I want to make that program available to. Again, your timeline, your standards, and then here it'll automatically give you your second priority program. And now here I notice my second priority is only offered for 9th, 10th, and 11th graders. And I may want to say something like, oh, I want to focus on 9th, 10th, and 11th, and we understand there are electives in high school, so you might want to give a mix, and you might say 1 class of mixed grades. So that would be 1 group of, say, 30 students, but they're coming from the different grade levels, if that makes sense. And here, again, timeline for that program, learning standards for that program. And then again, you can save at any time, go back to it. You can scroll up to the top, click these buttons, download it, so that you can save it for later, print it out. Once you're done, you're going to mark it as complete, and then you will go on to your next school. So now I'm filling out for PS2. It's still gonna be the same municipality. But here you may choose a different grade level. So say 4, 5, 6, and you know, any of these, you can choose all of them, one of them, say, I only want visual arts. And let's see what comes up. So we have a 1, 2, 3, you have 4 choices of programs. So you may want to say 2 out of the 3. I'm going to choose something different than what I chose in the other one. I really like this for this grade level. Go back up to that program, just double check the grade level. So again, it's 6, 7, 8. We chose 4, 5, 6. So we're going to request 6th grade. And we have 2 classes in 6th grade. Again, timeline, learning standards. If this seems repetitive, if you're encountering that you're looking up the same standards, you also have the option of copying the standards from one program, going to the second program if it's also going to be a visual arts, and you can drop and paste, actually just paste the same visual art standards that you have for this one, I just want to change this so you see the visual arts programming and modules, 5th, 6th, 7th. Two. Save and continue. Okay, I must have missed an answer, so it's telling me I missed it. I'm gonna go down, double check, see if there's any red markings telling me the question that I missed. Oh, okay, so it did not copy and paste in there. I believe I wanted to do this one. Copy, paste. Okay, and I'm just gonna review, make sure it picked the yes, it did. See, it updated the annual module making. I would just do that. Make sure after you complete and you get this, you can print it, review it. You can also go back in before you submit your application and make sure all of your answers are correct. And then scroll all the way back up, and you can go right to the next school. And I think we get the gist of it. Again, it's the same thing, school calendar, board of directors, and then your feedback. And once all of that is marked as complete, you have green checks here. You will be able to read and sign here, enter the date, and then this will turn green and you will be able to submit. And I'm not sure how we're doing on time. Okay, I see we have 5 more minutes. So, I mean, we're going to wrap it up. Let's leave the last 5 minutes for questions from everybody. Feel free.
Excuse me, great. Thank you, Rosa. Okay, at this time, I don't see any questions, which means you were very thorough. And no, but seriously, anytime, if anything comes up as you're going through the application, always feel free to reach out to us directly at grants@hcnj.us, or our office line is 201 459-2070. And obviously on the guidelines, there's several ways to get a hold of us. So thank you so much for attending and for taking the time out to be here. And, we look forward to working with you in the future and reading some applications. Thank you, Rosa.
Thank you. Thank you, Tina.
Thanks,
Thank you,
Marissa.
everybody.
Thank
And
you. Take
anybody
care.
else watching the recording, please reach out if you have any questions, you didn't understand anything. My email, our grants email is on there, our phone number is on there. Please reach out.